Hi there, my name is Catherine and this is So Much Sewing. So Much Sewing is my channel all about sewing. It's all about my home sewing adventures. And this particular video is all about how I saved even more money buying sewing patterns over the Black Friday sales. So if you would like to find out how I saved even more buying sewing patterns over the Black Friday sales, then please do stick around. But before we get into that, I just would like to take a couple of minutes to say thank you so much for the response I had to my last video. My last video, I talked about the fact that I have had a YouTube channel for 2 years now. And I talked about how I got into creating my own channel, about what's changed for me over the last couple of years. And I just did a whole bunch of talking. And you guys, I've had so many really supportive and beautiful comments from you. So I really do thank you for being so supportive and so lovely. And I really do appreciate every single one of you. There are so many of you who respond every single week. We have a little chat or you make a little comment, and, you know, that's really why any of us who have small channels keep going. So thank you. By the way, I'm wearing a dress from, and I'm not going to pronounce this name, so I'll put it down on the bottom here for you. I'm wearing one of the dresses from this designer, and this is, I forget the name of it, but basically it's a t-shirt with a knit t-shirt with a woven sleeve on it. You can either have a long sleeve or a short sleeve. You can put a knit sleeve on it if you like, or a woven sleeve. But I really like the fact that you can put a woven sleeve on it. And this is just a remnant of fabric that I picked up from who knows where at some point. And I made this into a dress. And it's actually quite a close fitting t-shirt, but I graded it out and made it into a nice loose fitting dress. And yeah. It's another one of those items in my wardrobe that I don't wear very often, but whenever I put it on, I think, why don't I wear this more often? So back to what this video is all about, which is how I saved even more money buying sewing patterns over the Black Friday sale period. Do you want to know what my secret is? How I saved even more money? Well, I didn't buy anything. And that's not what I intentionally set out to do, believe me. And I'm not saying you shouldn't buy any patterns either. I mean, you know, knock yourself out, go for it. But I've been a bit hard on myself lately, and I haven't really bought anything much for sewing. Like, I haven't gone out on a big splurge. So I was all prepared. I was mentally prepared to buy a bunch of patterns on the Black Friday sale, so that I could feel like I've had a big splurge and I can feel good about it because I saved lots and lots of money. And as the emails started coming into my inbox advising me about, you know, how much you could save on these Black Friday sales and what discount codes to use and what have you, I popped over to the websites and I scrolled my way through, and I just decided, no, I came out empty-handed. So just to give you an example, the first email that came into my inbox was Style Arc, and it was a pre-Black Friday sale. So it was a pre-sale for subscribers to their website. It's giving them first entry into the Black Friday sales. And so I trawled through the pattern selection because I love Style Arc. There are some ups and downs with Style Arc. You've just got to get the sizing right. But I do love their patterns. And so I trawled through and I looked and I came across, first of all, the Monty shirt dress pattern. And I've had my eye on this pattern, literally for years. I really love how, casual it is. It's nice and loose fitting, which is what I like. And so I popped that one in my shopping basket, and then I looked through and I came across the Sunny knit top. I love how slouchy and loose this is, and it's got that interesting detail with the seam sort of, along the bottom of the bodice there, giving it a little bit of detail. So I popped that in my cart, and I was trolling through and looking for more and more. And I thought, hang on. No, wait. This Monty shirt dress, I've got the shoreline top from Pattern Emporium, and I've made that up, and I love the pattern. Now, look at the two side by side. So obviously one's got a collar, the Monty's got a collar, and the shoreline doesn't, but basically they're the same pattern. So I thought, no, I can't justify to myself purchasing another pattern that's, fairly much basically the same as a pattern that I already have. And another thought occurred to me, actually, hang on a second, I said to myself, and I trawled through my PDF sewing patterns on my computer, and sure enough, I'd already bought the sunny top. So there you go. So the two patterns from Style Arc that I thought I wanted to buy, I looked at them and I realised I don't need to buy those. Since we were talking about Pattern Emporium with the shoreline top, I went over and I had a look at Pattern Emporium, and I do have a number of Pattern Emporium patterns. But what, the ones that jumped out to me on the Pattern Emporium website as patterns that I would want to buy was the BUT and the Bestie Tee. I seem to be on a real t-shirt kick at the moment, and I like a nice, comfy, loose-fitting t-shirt. And these two t-shirts were the ones that really leapt out to me. But you guessed it, I already own those patterns. So, so there goes me buying patterns off Pattern Emporium this Black Friday. The next company I looked at, all excited about being able to buy some of their patterns on discount over Black Friday, was Sew Liberated. I do love Sew Liberated patterns. I have made the Joni shirt, and I have the Sylvan Jacket that I was all set to make last winter, but life got in the way and it's on the back burner, but I will make it this winter coming up. So I looked through their patterns at everything that I might like to buy from Sew Liberated, and the patterns that I came up with that I really, really love was the Lichen Duster and the Sylvan Jacket, which, as I say, I have the Sylvan, and actually I have the Lichen, and I've never made that up either. So, it's another example of a gorgeous pattern that I have in my stash that I just have never made up. And then the other thing that jumped out to me was and I might pronounce this incorrectly, the Petrichor Pinafore. I like the look of this as well. But again, something was nagging in the back of my mind, and I had a little think about it, and I already own the Leo Pinafore from By Hand London. Again, I've never made this up, but I really want to. The patterns originally, what do you call them? Like dungarees, overalls type of thing, but there is a hack. You can make it into a pinafore dress, and that's what I would make rather than the dungarees. So the Petrichor and the Leo, they are very, very similar. So I've already got one pattern that I haven't used. I don't really need another pattern that might sit in my stash for another few years and I don't use. So, I tried pretty hard to spend some money, and if I tried even harder, I could look at loads and loads of different sites and come up with something, I'm sure. But then I just felt like I would be spending money just for the sake of spending money, and, that's not what it's all about. So that was both a kind of a disappointing and almost a liberating experience, because I really wanted to spend some money. But at the end of the day, there's just no point spending money just for the sake of spending money. I have got a ton of patterns, and probably I wouldn't need to buy another pattern for the whole rest of my life. I'm sure that won't be the case. There's going to be patterns that I want to buy. But yeah. So that is my experience of shopping over Black Friday this year. What's been your experience? Are you shopping up a storm, which is perfectly reasonable and fantastic if that's what you are doing? Are you buying sewing patterns? Are you buying fabrics? Are you buying larger ticket items because they're on deep discount? Items like sewing machines and mannequins and that sort of thing. Or you know, are you keeping your money to yourself, saving it up for Christmas? Because let's face it, Christmas is coming very, very quickly. So that's it from me today. Just a quick little look at what I haven't been buying. I hope you're all doing really well. I look forward to seeing you next week when I will talk about, I don't know what I'm going to talk about next week, but I'm sure there will be something. I'll see you then. Bye.